Hi everyone, Eva Thompson here. Welcome back to this channel. I haven't posted on here for about 9 to 10 months now. So if you have been supporting this channel in any way, if you've stuck around and liked the videos, commented, subscribed, then I want to say thank you very much. Thank you for your patience. Everyone that messaged me, asking me politely and kindly, when are you going to post again? Why are you posting? The main reason why I haven't posted in such a long time is because I have 2 small children and we had these babies 14 months apart. They're now 2 and 3 years old, but my priority is them, raising them, being present with them and for them, being around them, especially in these fundamental years. It's very, very important to me. And now they're a bit older, so I'm able to come back on here and film and make longer videos. I never stop working with people when it comes to retroactive jealousy. I still did sessions, I still spoke to people, I still was able to do that part of the job, but I wasn't able to sort of be the mum I wanted to be, film long videos, be on social media all the time, and see clients. So something had to give, and this is what did. I did post some YouTube shorts here and there, just replying to people's comments, or if I got an email and I thought, well, that's an important topic to talk about, I would. But as far as these longer videos are concerned, I haven't posted in a while. And going forward, I do want to post, but it probably won't be every week. It'll be maybe once or twice a month. I'll still do YouTube shorts more often, but for now, because this also goes onto the podcast, so anyone again that's been supporting the podcast, I want to thank you as well. And on YouTube, we've reached 8,000 subscribers, which is amazing. So thank you so much for that. But yeah, I'm back now, and I want to be able to consistently post again. And realistically, that's going to be a little bit less compared to what it was before I took this big break, but I still want it to be consistent. What I want to talk to you today in this video is, I just want to address a couple of comments that were made that I couldn't answer via a YouTube short because I don't have enough time. Because these are quite in-depth questions, interesting points of view underneath the videos. I've literally just picked a few comments that I want to talk to you guys about. Hopefully start a discussion. As always, I'm open to opinions and comments and ideas. I think RJ is a topic that is very broad in many ways, and in other ways it's not. So even the symptoms can vary from person to person. What bothers you, how it shows up for you, why it bothers you, it really can vary. So I think having discussions around it can be very helpful. Now, the first comment says, this was under one of my videos where I said that you can be indifferent to your partner's past, you don't have to love it or hate it. And they said, someone suggests that the past is the past and we should focus on the present when marrying or getting into a relationship with someone who had a previous romantic relationship. Then I have many doubts and many questions. First one says, what if they are medically okay or not, i.e. no STDs? What if their ex has photos of unethical activities and might blackmail us after marriage, ruining our lives? What if the ex or other people tries to make fun of us or troll us or tease us? What if they can never forget their past? What if they compare me to their ex? What if that past lover comes back into a relationship and tries to ruin our relationship? What if I find out that the child born isn't mine? In today's world with gossip and social pressure, divorce is often seen as a punishment for the entire family, even if only one partner made the mistake. I believe in live and let live and respect everyone's personal choices. Even if we agree on other points and like each other, I would be open to marrying someone who has gone through something difficult in the past or faced something wrong in the past, as long as it wasn't their fault. In that case, I would give emotional support and stand by them. But if any issues related to their past relationship arise after our marriage, I am not ready to handle that. If they are going to be my first love, is it wrong for me to expect to be their first love too? What's wrong with expecting that we should be each other's first love? Okay, first of all, the video that I made said that you can get to a point where you are indifferent towards your partner's past. Many people interpret this as you get into a relationship with someone, you know nothing about their background, about who their parents are, where they're from, what life they've had, nothing. You shouldn't ask anything about all of that, and you should just get into a relationship and focus on the present. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that it is normal and it is okay to know a bit of background about who you are getting into a relationship with. You guys know that's have RJ. That is not what RJ is. RJ is not, oh, I'm curious about, your holiday that you went to in Paris when you were with this person in a relationship with this person. RJ is what happened, how many times, where, when, how, with who, what date, what time, what were you wearing, how did it happen? That's RJ. RJ is obsessing over the details, thinking that it's going to bring you some sort of relief. So I want you to just understand that what I mean is you get into a relationship, you know the general background of the person, you know how many relationships that they've been in, maybe even how many partners they've had. Some people like to share that, some people don't. But that's not RJ. RJ is the details that either you ask or you want to ask and you haven't asked. The obsessing over the details, that is what RJ is, trying to control what ultimately you will never be able to control, your partner's thoughts. And these are all things, most of them at least, that this person is talking about that they can't control. How are you going to control your partner's thoughts if they ever forget their past? Their ex-partner's thoughts, how they think, what they might do or not do in the future. What else do they say? If the ex has photos of unethical activities and might blackmail us after marriage. I don't understand, there's just OCD and RJ go hand in hand a lot of the time. That's why people sometimes call it retroactive jealousy, OCD. Because we try to be in control of things that ultimately we can't control. OCD has everything to do with control. The root of OCD is I'm trying to be in control. I'm trying to feel in control. Control, safety, certainty, and feeling loved. That's what RJ boils down to actually being. So all of these questions are trying to gain some sort of control and some sort of certainty. I want to be sure you're not thinking about the past. I want to be sure that it's not going to come back and affect us. I want to be sure. You can have conversations around who your partner is and isn't and what could be a risk and is not, but at the end of the day, no one can be 1,000% sure. And that is where the RJ sufferer struggles, because that 0.01% chance that something like that might happen to you or me or somebody else haunts them. And that is what they're trying to escape from. But you won't, because you can't be sure of the future, of someone else's thoughts. You can't control that kind of thing. If you want to get into a relationship with someone that you are each other's firsts and you want to go hunting for this person, go ahead. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Will there be a connection and will there be a chemistry there? Maybe, maybe not. That's a risk you're taking. What are you going to do? Choose your partner based on if they've been with somebody else before? That's not the best criteria, because you might have zero chemistry with that person. But if you want to go and do that, more power to you, and more power to anyone who wants to go and do that. That's not what RJ is. I'm not saying that you should be with someone that you don't feel is compatible for you, that you have different morals and values today that make you doubt whether or not they're thinking about their past, that will make comments that make you feel uncomfortable, that will mention their ex all the time. That's not what RJ is. RJ is, in a nutshell, I know it doesn't matter, but it bothers me. I know it's not a real threat, but it feels like one. That is what RJ is. RJ is not a choice. RJ is in a conflict. And I've said that in many videos before. So to all of these questions of what if they compare me? What if their past lover comes back? What if I find out the child born isn't mine? This indicates massive lack of trust with your partner, and also a sense of control that you are desperate for, that you won't always be able to have, because either there's always going to be risks in life with whatever choice you take. So you can say, I want to leave my partner and I want to go and have other experiences, or I want to go and find someone that hasn't had any experiences. What are you risking? You're risking ending a relationship that is very meaningful with a person that is very special and a very good person. This is a lot of the time what happens with RJ. Going to either have these experiences so you can be equal, or find someone without a past. But what are you risking there? You're risking, in the first case scenario, you have these experiences, then RJ comes back, which happens more often than not. Or finding or not finding, you're risking not finding someone that hasn't got a past if you're over a certain age. Maybe in some cultures it's different. Or maybe you get with someone younger, but that could be questionable. Or you find someone that hasn't had a past, but you have zero chemistry. Like, that is a risk you're taking. So if you leave a healthy relationship, again, where you have talked to your partner about their past broadly, where you don't feel that their past is a threat, that they're thinking about somebody else, that they're comparing you, they're not doing these things actively, you know logically that it's not a real threat, but you're getting these what if thoughts. It's your mind trying to find safety, security, trying to make sense of things, trying to understand so you can feel safe and in control. So I just want to say to this person, you're more than welcome and free to go and find someone with no past. No one's judging you. If you want to do that, more power to you. But for other people that get into a relationship with someone that have been in a relationship before, it doesn't necessarily mean that all of these things are going to happen to them. And many people get into a relationship with someone that has had a past, and they've had a past as well, and never think of these things, and these things never happen. So it has to do but also, like, when you say, what if they are medically okay or not, and if they have STDs, like, these are conversations you have to have, like, this is important. Or if the unborn child or the born child is not yours, this indicates massive trust issues, not RJ. And then everything else just starts with what if. What if they can never forget their past? Why? What do they need to forget their past? Why is it a threat to you? They're not going to remember it RJ sufferers will ask their partners questions and remind their partner of their past, which is kind of ironic because obviously you want your partner to not think about their past, but everything else is what if. Everything else is, I can't control it, but I'm going to try to, and I'm going to suffer. So that's what I think. Another comment says, now moving on to the next one. The issue is that I can willingly accept the risks of actual tangible fears as a part of the relationship and still not be able to stand the fact that you imagine these vivid sexual scenarios in your head. At the end of the day, I just can't stand the fact that I can't stop thinking about it, and I feel terrible about the fact that I'm missing out on some of the very real connection I now have with someone because of the fact that I repeatedly obsess over things that disturb me. I just hate what my imagination does with the information she shared with me. Now, this is important because this is the whole, logically I know it's okay. Logically I know that, I'll be okay if we break up, or maybe I'm not the best of all time all the time, but I can't handle the mental movies that I get. That is what this person is saying, and it's very valid because it's tricky to know something isn't important, but to get images and feel like it's important. And the number one thing that, if you're struggling with this, I want you to remember is the mental movies only keep coming back because of the way you're reacting to them. So if you get a mental movie about your partner with somebody else, someone that doesn't have RJ would also feel uncomfortable, but they would say to themselves, okay, that's an unpleasant thought. I don't like that thought. And they would move on. The RJ sufferer obsesses. They stay there. They question. They try to reason. They ruminate. They ask questions. They give it a lot of significance. Beneath this is the meaning that you have on some level attached to what happened. So this happened, that must mean what? Something about you, your relationship, your future. It's threatening something. Something feels unsafe. Something feels out of your control, and it doesn't feel certain. But to this person, I just want to say, if you know logically that it doesn't matter and you're so sure of it, then it boils down to how you react to the thoughts when they come in. Whether it's breathing techniques so you can calm down, calm your body down, repeating things to yourself that will calm you down, like, this is not a real threat, I am safe, not dialoguing with the thoughts, not dreading the thoughts, not fighting with the thoughts, trying to prove them wrong. All these things give them power. So I would research and practice how to react differently to these thoughts, to these intrusive thoughts and mental movies, so they can go away. Because it sounds like you know they don't matter, but when the thoughts come in, they really affect you. And lastly, what I'm going to say on this is, it's okay to get a mental movie about your partner with somebody else and not like it. No one's asking you to like it, but it doesn't have to be this dreadful, horrible, awful thing. And that takes practice, training your mind to not view it as such a massive threat. Okay, I'm going to do one more comment. I'm the partner of an RJ sufferer. It's extremely exhausting. It's been every day for almost 2 months now. It's making me want to hurt myself. It's destroying me. He won't stop bringing up my past and asking questions for 2 months. I'm a behavioral therapist, and I know answering the questions would be bad. The more questions I answered, the worse and worse it has gotten. And despite me saying, no, I won't answer any more questions, or please stop this, it isn't healthy, it's going to destroy us, he continues to keep going, and now I am at the point where I feel like I'm going crazy and I don't know what to do. I hate myself now. First of all, I am truly sorry that you feel this way and that you're experiencing this. Being the partner, guys, of an RJ sufferer is really hard. It's really hard because you love this person, you want to be with them, you are only focused on them, and they just can't stop asking you questions about your past. Maybe they judge you, maybe they compare themselves, maybe they shut down, maybe they get angry. And if you are a partner of an RJ sufferer watching this, I'm going to tell you when you should stay, or when you could stay, and when you probably should go. Because if you are with someone that has RJ, but they are trying to get better, you see that they're putting effort into their recovery. Books, journaling, coaches, therapists, there's many ways, guys. Many ways. And I'm not saying they have to be perfect, but I'm saying, are they trying? Are they putting in the effort? Or are they just complaining, saying they're going to stop, repeating the same pattern until they have made you feel like a shell of yourself? It almost, in my experience, it doesn't help if the RJ sufferer's partner feeds into this drama, for lack of better words, that the RJ sufferer is going through. So if they say, I'm so sorry, I wish I never did that, I'm such an idiot, blah, 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 I feel so bad. It's okay to have regrets and to voice that, but the more you go down that road with them and you feed it, the worse it can get. Sometimes you need to just take responsibility for your life and maybe your regrets and your mistakes and say, I did this, this happened, I don't like this, I would have done that differently, but I can't change it now, and that's it. I'm not going to be made to feel awful and terrible for the rest of my life because of some mistakes or because of some choices that I made. I'm not. And you need to be confident in that. You can't allow somebody else that has an issue of their own make you feel so bad about yourself. If you're with someone that has RJ and they're trying to fix it, then yes, stay with them, support them. There are ways to get over this. But if you're with someone that isn't and they're just being the victim, blaming you for everything, complaining, saying things like, if you never did this, I would never feel this way. Well, I did do this and now you feel this way, so now what? I get people that struggle with RJ. I've been there. And I know how it is. And I know who you can become because of it. Even though that might not be you, You might not be judgmental, you might not be angry, you might not be someone that looks down on people all the time, but RJ will make you feel like you are that person, and you might turn into that person for a little bit. But ultimately, it's taking responsibility, wanting to change it, and putting in the work to do so. And trying your best to not ask questions. It's not up to the RJ. I had a client once that would ask the partner questions and then threaten to break up with them if they didn't want to answer. That's not right. And I don't think there's much that the RJ sufferer's partner can do in this situation. And sometimes you're better off leaving and putting your foot down and saying, you know what, you're not going to treat me like this. You're not going to overstep my boundaries. You're not going to make me feel horrible every day for something that I've apologized for, that I did when I probably didn't even know you. So that's what I'll say to that. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's been a while. Like I said, I want to make them maybe twice a month. Any ideas, any comments, any suggestions, leave them down below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you and bye.